Ain't nobody around but a lone gunman. There's trouble a-brewing. And that trouble's brewing right here in Tombstone, Arizona. That's right, Tombstone, Arizona. You've seen it in the movies, probably read about it in your history books as a kid, maybe in the comics as well. And here it is in all its glory. So Tombstone, interesting story how it started. There was a guy named Ed Schifflin. He was a civilian guy. I believe he was a scout. He was working for the Army out of Camp Huachuca, just up the road here a bit. Anyway, on his time off, he wanted to go out and do some prospecting, look for stuff. And so the Army guys were halfway joking with him, saying, yeah, you go out there into that barren land and you're going to find nothing but your own tombstone. Well, he kept prospecting. He eventually struck silver and got a mining claim, and he decided that he was going to call his mining claim Tombstone because of what the soldiers told him. So that's the first signs of how Tombstone started. So by 1880, the town sprang up, and every place was booming around there. There were two dance halls in the town. There was a dozen gambling spots, and what western town didn't have a saloon? In fact, Tombstone had more than 20 saloons. Anyway, now a year later, 1881, there was a new marshal in town. You might have heard you might know his name by history, Virgil Earp, and his younger brothers Wyatt and Morgan. Wyatt Earp, I think, went on into Dodge City. If you look at my Dodge City Walk Across America video from 2019. Anyway, so there was Virgil Earp, Wyatt Earp, Morgan Earp, and then Doc Holliday. And then you probably know the story of the OK Corral and the shootout there, where these guys vanquished the Clantons and McLaurys in the gunfight at OK Corral. You may have seen the movies that were made, but the original movie was in, 1957? The gunfight at OK Corral, and that was starring Burt Lancaster and Kirk Douglas.
Duty calls, my back's against the wall. Have you no kind word to say before I ride away?
As with most boom towns, the population in 1881, 82, something like that, swelled to, about 20,000 people. And the mining was going on quite a bit. And then in 1881, there was a fire that burned down half the business district. Well, they rebuilt it, and then guess what? 1882, another fire came along and burnt down a substantial portion of the business district as well. But they quickly rebuilt that, and then things started going wrong with the mining. The mines started getting water, so they bought a pump and installed that. They finally got the water out of the wells. I'm sorry, out of the mines. And then in 1886, there was another fire that destroyed the pump house, and the fire was so hot that it even melted the pump. So then by that time, Tombstone now became a bust town. And by 1890, I think the population was just down to 1,900 people. And fast forward to recent history, Tombstone eventually became a tourist spot. The buildings got all fixed up, as you can see here, and it's now become something of a magnet for a new generation of residents, baby boomers who cut their teeth. You probably remember these on early TV shows such as The Rifleman, Have Gun, Will Travel, Wyatt Earp, Gunsmoke. So a lot of the people here today are people that just came here on a whim, vacationers, and they fell in love with what they found, and they're continuing the tradition of Tombstone and setting it up as a tourist place, and like I said, restoring the buildings here to their former glory. And so that's a quick history and a quick story about Tombstone. Pretty interesting little place. And you know what? I think there's going to be a killing. Let's go. Oh boy, I had to get out of town before they shot it all up. So, let's go take a look at something over in the Mule Mountains. The Mule Mountains? Yeah, the Mule Mountains. Can you guess what that's going to be? Alright, so we made it here into the Mule Mountains, and it's the town of